Throughout history, every culture has developed unique rituals to honor their departed. Across continents and generations, tombs and burial places tell the tales of those who walked before us. In many African societies, the dead were not seen as gone forever, but as spirits living among us. The way we care for their final resting places reflects how we keep their spirits close. Today on Highland Travel Show, we journey to a hidden gem in southwestern Uganda, the mystical waters of Lake Mutanda in Kisoro district. Beneath its serene surface lie islands steeped in history, where the rulers of a forgotten era found their eternal rest. Our adventure begins at the breathtaking Lake Mutanda, a lava-dammed lake nestled between towering volcanoes and lush green hills. This lake is more than just a scenic wonder. It holds stories of tradition, power, and reverence for the dead. Many of these islands served sacred purposes, but few are as mysterious as the burial grounds of the Abahinza, the ancient rulers of the Great Lakes region and northern Rwanda. These islands were reserved for leaders whose spirits continue to watch over their descendants. We meet Louis Bishubeho, a descendant of the Abahinza and a custodian of their legacy. With pride in his voice, he shares stories passed down through generations.
This was the Bahinza's burial ground for my ancestors, who were the rulers of the part of the Great Lakes region, including the part of Rwanda, in northern Rwanda. The Bahinza were the grandfathers of Batwezi, and the Bifanyiginya kingdom, the Bahinza were the kings of this part of Great Lakes region. So this was their grave, and you see they have the special attention where before they bring them here, they were treated. The embalammers were there for embalming them, treating them. That's why they see them. Their remains are still intact with their skins. So it is not easy, apart from in Egypt. Here it's where in sub-Saharan Africa, it's where you can find these resources, the mummies, and I like it, and I bless it, and I respect it, because this is my ancestors. These are my lineage. So it's my privilege, and I'm happy about it, and I don't feel ashamed to talk about it. And I disagree with some of the people who says this is the punishment place, but you have seen it yourself. The bodies are still intact, and you see some of the materials they used to lap them down. So nobody can say I can or he can separate from my ancestors. I like this place, and I used to advocate for this to conserve them. But recently, we have agreed with the government to gazette the place, and the government has agreed to gazette the place. And I call all those who are in the tourism industry fraternity to respect the place, because today you even have seen the tour guides have been here with their clients, and their clients, they don't respect the place. We need to put some regulations very soon to see that the place is protected.
Shubeho walks barefoot as a sign of respect for his ancestors, believing it would be sacrilegious to tread on this sacred soil with shoes.
The category of the people who used to visit these places, even we Shions, the grandchildren, we come here to pay respect for our ancestors, and we come for seeking the blessings. If you have lost the blessings, you can come here. And we have another place in Mugahinga called Kwijuru. If you don't come here, we go to the Mount Gahinga. We have a certain place for a sacred place for prayers. But here you come leisurely seeking for blessings. At time, not every day, not every week, in a year. It's once. And you don't need to come inside. You just drop the other side, you stand there, you request what you want, you go back home.
And does it happen?
Yeah, it happens.
You get those blessings?
Yeah, we can go to those places.
Tradition dictates that visitors do not enter the cave, but stand outside to call upon their ancestors for guidance and blessings. Bishubeho recounts how his grandfather, who lived to the remarkable age of 128, entrusted him with these ancestral secrets.
My grandfather, Bishubeho, he died 128 years. He told me about this, and it was a secret. because he wanted me to know my route, and I also inform other coming generation about our lineage and where we came from and how useful this place is. And this one, it was one way to keep in touch with our ancestors, because every year we used to have a festival, and the festival used to be honored very much so. So the purpose of telling me or informing me this is to look the way we can protect it forever and ever. But for the sake of the tourism and other businesses, you see there is also the separation of this place. But to me, I have already wake up. I never allow anyone to destroy it, to destroy our identity, to destroy our custom, to destroy our belief, to destroy our culture. That's why recently I appeared before Parliamentary Committee on Trade, Tourism and Industry when I was complaining about this. And in Uganda, I was the only traditional reader who appeared in that committee, because they were the Bureau of Museums and Monuments of Uganda and Cultural Heritage Resources. So I'm appeal to every Ugandan to respect the place. We don't deny the tourism. Let them use the laws and let them respect the place. Otherwise, there is no other resources where you can find this resource apart from this place. And my grandfather told his father, who was told with his father, that this place must be respected and must be protected. But today, you have seen there is the challenge of unprotected place like this one. So I call upon the government and the other stakeholders and the community members to join me to save this place for proper conservation.
However, modern pressures threaten these sacred grounds. Bones have been exhumed by unscrupulous tour operators and witch doctors. Bishubeho appeals to the authorities for protection.
There are very many, but the exterminators tried to exhume some of the bones that have been taken in the laboratories, in the museums, in the traditional healers. Very many have been, because those who have been in conflict with me, they have been taking them, some of the bones and some of the remains, and their shrouds have been taken away. But the remaining ones, you see, there is a serious history, there is a serious evidence that they were mummies, they were not punished people. And also yourself, you have seen it yourself. The bodies are still intact. And some which have still with the nails and what, they have been stolen. But still, the remaining ones are still intact, they are still fresh. And you have seen this one, which they have displayed here. This one was displayed by the David Bakine and Rwanjezi. So, for them, they were in a tourism business, concocting information that this is a punishment island. There is no total punishment island on Lake Mutanda. Only the Lake Mutanda inhabits the inhabitants, people who used to inhabit here, were the Bagesela clan. The Bagesela clan were from Gisaka in Rwanda in the 12th century. There is evidence. Some of the old people are still there who can even predict and who can give this story. This is not concoction.
The unique history of this island has not gone unnoticed. Richard Munaziro, the tourism officer for Kisoro district, speaks about efforts to preserve and promote the site.
But when we just went there, of course, we found, yes, it's true. These bones actually were mummified, because you could find some bones still attached with the skin. So as a district, we believe this, if we promote this culture, is one of the additional products to the district, the mummification grave. So, but what is so special is that the kings would be put in that. And as a district, so far what we have done, we are trying to gazette it as a public tourism area. And we worked on the signage, which we need to improve on. And after putting the signage, we hope we have engaged the Ministry of Tourism and to do the archaeological information, to profile the archaeological information, so that when we are giving information, we give the rightful information. The exercise is still going on, and after we have, I think, profiled the information, we shall go to product development. Normally, product development will include building the product, protecting it, and then selling it to the entire nation.
Plans are in place to document the site's history and develop a sustainable tourism model.
Actually, I've stayed in the office for 10 years, but I got to know about this product just in 5 years. I could hear stories, until myself I went there and I found, yes, indeed, the product is there, the bones are there, but unfortunately, the unfortunate part of it, they had started being eroded into the water by the grazing animals and some people. So what we did actually, with the support from Ministry of Tourism and the Department of Museums, we only gazetted part of it to prevent these bones from being eroded into the water. So for the last 5 years, we have been engaging the communities, definitely to see that it is protected by putting that local fence, and we intend to continue engage the community and encourage the community. This is the product that is not, this product will not go to the Ministry of Tourism. It's going to be co-managed by the communities. So they shouldn't worry, let the government do its part by gazetting it, by protecting it, and then later there will be the management aspect, where perhaps the PPP with the private person will engage the communities for learning and management.
Mummification is an ancient practice found in many parts of the world, from the deserts of Egypt to the highlands of Peru. The goal? To preserve the body for the afterlife. The methods varied, from drying in extreme heat to chemical embalming. In Egypt, elaborate rituals prepared pharaohs for the journey beyond. Internal organs were removed, and bodies were embalmed with resins and oils before being wrapped in linen. Across continents, the desire to honor the dead has always been universal. Lake Mutanda, a serene landscape with stories that ripple beneath its surface. It is a place where history, spirituality, and nature converge. The efforts to preserve its heritage promise to keep these stories alive for generations to come. Join us next time on Highland Travel Show as we uncover more hidden treasures and cultural wonders across Uganda.